Greetings, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom, and great and wonderful people of Africa, because we are all in this struggle together. So, you are welcome to this special edition of this program where we are going to be navigating few things. Number one thing we are going to be navigating is the reason why for the sudden sit at home which took the life of many people in Biafra land by the terrorists who live in Finland and his cohort. Number two, we are going to actually talk about how he is trying to act like the Nigeria government is after him when they are the ones pushing the agenda of what he is doing. Number three, you will understand that it looks like the criminal in UK, the Pomo boy, has left Nelly, or Nelly has left him. Remember that the Pomo boy, when Nelly leave him, he has no choice than to look for where he will get money, because that is, the boy is a lazy boy who cannot work for himself. He just look for where they are selling out at a particular point in time for him to engage in order to make some bucks from there. But now I want to tell you that all these shenanigans you see happening in Biafra land, all these activities of the criminal agent provocateur in Finland, we are going to actually give it a befitting reply and tell you the reason why he called for this sit at home, of course. Now, I am also going to talk about the Atiku's statement, Atiku's media statement on IPOB. Atiku's media statement on IPOB. It is not in our title, but we are going to talk about it because it is also very, very important. Now, I want you to know, great and wonderful people of Biafra, that the reason why the Nigeria government is keeping Mazen Nnamdi Kanu in the solitary confinement is to make sure that what is happening in the northeast, in the southeast, in the northeast, or in the north will make its way to Biafra land. That is exactly the number one reason why they are keeping him there, because they know if he is around, he has his obligational mandate to actually protect and defend Biafra land from the terrorist activities. And if he was actually a free man today, there will be no all these casualties that is being reported in Biafra land today. So that is the reason why we are here once again this morning, this afternoon, evening, depending on your place of domicile, to actually, to expose, educate, and actually inculcate what is going on, the activities of the Nigeria government, Dave Umahi to be precise, and their plans, and the history that is thereof. I want us to know that whenever we come online, we are here to give you a very important information. If you continue to if you follow it up, you will understand that it is indeed a very, very important information. Yesterday, my apologies, I was supposed to come online yesterday, but I was very busy. I was super busy because there are many things that need to be done. Of course, this is end of the year. That is the reason why you will understand the madness of this criminal syndicate in the autopilot, calling our people to sit at home when they are supposed to make what will actually sustain them to the next coming season, this few days left to the next coming season. So we are busy actually trying our best to make sure that we put up things that will sustain us to the coming season, because it is those who go to work who will make money. It is not those who are sitting at home that makes money. That is the reason why in the developed nations like America, you will understand, or Europe's, you will understand that whenever they call for on a sit at home, they will make provisions for people so that they will benefit, because they know there are people who actually do menial jobs to survive. So that is the reason why I could not come online yesterday, because I was actually busy. My apologies to that, to Biafrans all over the world and friends and lovers of freedom all over the world. Now, let us proceed. We are here. We are not going to spend more than 1 hour, 30 minutes here because it is very, very. I'm also in a hurry today. I just said that, I normally don't come online by this time, but I had to do it because my time from after this time is actually occupied. So, number one thing we are going to now bring to you is the sit at home that this agent provocateur used to kill our people in Biafra land. The Ifajuna in Finland. The sit at home he used to kill our people in Biafra land. Claiming that he is actually doing sit at home to prepare your mind or to give you Biafra in 90 days. Now I want you to know, or those of you who are his sympathizers, just like the Pomo boy who does not know where he belongs, today he is Udele, tomorrow he is Tinubu, he is campaigning for Tinubu, next tomorrow he is Idu, today he is a autopilot, another day just bitchy boy in UK who is actually looking for money. Does not matter how he belittled himself just to get money. That is exactly what you will understand about the idiot. Now, I believe that Nelly has left him where his source of income or source of survival has been, because I don't see Nelly around him anymore. That is the reason why he has no choice than to run back to his criminal syndicate autopilot, which he established with Berima in Finland. So I want you to understand that there is no room for two-faced idiots in our struggle. There is no room for bastards in our struggle. What we are doing, people have given their life for it, people have died, and people are still, dying for the sake of what we are doing. So we cannot actually continue to dangle around the bush. Now, I want you to know that we told you that these criminals, regardless of their fight, whether they're in America, whether they're in Finland, whether they're in UK, regardless of their fight, they actually have one goal. You know what it is, that no matter how much you fight in your workplace, if you are fighting with your colleagues in a workplace, no matter how much you fight or your personal differences or grudges, you will come back and get the same, you are working again to achieve the same goal, which is helping the company to prosper while the company is actually paying you for your work. This is exactly what has been happening, and you can see it with this Pomo boy in UK. You can see it because they have seen that the only person who is actually leading them towards the destruction of IPOB and towards the destruction of Igbo land is now losing the battle, has now committed a biggest blunder that he knows you might not come out of. So they have to now give him back support. They have to now give him back support. I want you to read the handwriting on the wall. You should be able to read the handwriting on the wall. Don't you ever get carried away by all these shenanigans that they are doing, including those in the United States. They are working to achieve one goal, and that is to destroy Biafra struggle. Now, number one thing that you need to understand is that the Pomo boy, the idiot, is supporting Tinubu. And you should know that everything that is, this agent provocateur in Finland, the terrorist in Finland is doing, it is all to attract Tinubu to give him money so that he will boycott the election in Biafra land. As they have, actually proposed that they will boycott, they will be able to do it. That's why you see those people from who say that they are Oduduwa sympathizers or fighters come to give them their support. Now, you will understand what is going on. I want you to know that everything that these people are doing, these are organized syndicates. They are very, very organized. They know exactly when to go in, when to, be neutral. They know when to fight each other. They know when to come together. They know when to support each other. These are organized syndicates who are fighting IPOB. And if you see what is going on, as if Nigeria government is actually calling Finland to arrest the criminal, they are lying to you. That is a fluke. That is the reason why the criminal in Finland is the one actually always bringing it to gain your sympathy, because the only thing he always do is to look for a way to gain your sympathy. Once he gains your sympathy, he will use it against you. He is telling you that Nigeria government bring phone calls. Nigeria government is calling Finland to get him arrested or this and that. How can Nigeria government call Finland to get the criminal arrested? When I am bringing it to you, because so many of you might think there is a phone call which I will bring to you. Now, how can Nigeria government call a Finland government to arrest Simon Ekperima, the Fajuna of our time, without them sending police to stop his criminal? The least that they can do, if he elap ife de ginu no vopa na tunke na abanenu, the least they could do is to send the police, presence of police, to make people to feel safe in going out to their normal duties. Did Nigeria deploy military? The answer is no. Did Nigeria deploy police? The answer is no. Did Nigeria deploy DSS? The answer is no. They say that you people are on your own, because they are doing this thing to achieve one result. To always to say, this is what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu did. This is the disciple of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And that is the reason why you, 2 days ago, we were reading the article that was actually, which was anchored by Vanguard, when Attorney General Malami granted an interview and they talk about Mazen Nnamdi Kanu release. Now he said there that the reason why they are holding Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is because of the security. That it is because of the security. That is the reason why they are holding him. Now you ask yourself a big question. If it is because of a security reasons that they are holding him, what do you think? What do you think that is going on right now? Because they are doing it to blame it on activity of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. That is the reason why the agent provocateur will never cease to use the name of IPOB. Will never cease to use the name of ESN. Will never cease to play a video where Mazen Nnamdi Kanu say that you are taking this struggle to a new dimension. Now, do you know the reason why all these things? It is all to be make sure that every of his criminal activities is actually connected to the activities of IPOB and Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Now let me remind him, the time that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said that you are doing a good thing and you are taking the struggle to a new dimension, it was the time that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu believed that you were in this struggle with him. It was the time that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu believed that you were sincere, which is the time you were only doing exposition. You were not answering smoke person or spokesperson. You were not calling for the killing of our people. You were not calling for giving it any order, because nobody made you to be in that position. Anybody that his people are not with is a criminal. Why did anybody politically elected Simon Ekpa to be the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra? The answer is no. Did anybody appointed Simon Ekpa to be the leader of indigenous people of Biafra? The answer is no. Did anybody appointed him to dish out orders for the indigenous people of Biafra? The answer is no. Did God appointed him? The answer is no. The reason why I am saying this is because you can see it by yourself. If indeed there was a secret ballot which appointed him by the Biafrans to be the spokesperson of Biafra, when he speaks to them to sit at home, he does not need to use gun to intimidate them to sit at home. True or false? True. So in this regard, you will find out that our people gave him and the world the response that this person we do not know. Peter, I know. Paul, I don't know. Who is this terrorist? Mazen Nnamdi Kanu we know. DOS we know. IPOB we know. Who is this person and their syndicate called Autopilot? They are nobody but terrorists. Whenever you see something that is going to have a significant effect or towards releasing Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, they will make sure that they scuttle it. Remember that what triggered this sit at home from the beginning was our people doing, protest, and that protest was going to extend worldwide. It was going to go worldwide. Or national Biafra, wide, was going to escalate the protest for release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. This guy, he saw that this protest, he did not call for it. So how can, he be the answering smoke person? Other people are organizing something that will help Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to be released. He said, no, I have to bring a stop to that protest, which our people were doing. He called for sit at home. He declared sit at home. Now, let me show you. Because it is not a coincidence that immediately his stupid and senseless sit at home, which actually he used to kill our people, trying to force them into giving up Biafra struggle, it is actually, senseless. For you to know, let me show you. For you to know, now see this, what is going on here. Have you seen immediately his senseless and stupid sit at home finish? Our people descended the street again. Our people came back to the street and they start protesting again for the release of Ohamadike, for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Are you seeing it? Just one moment. Okay. Now, you can see, let me try to change this one because I see it is not moving. This is it. You can see sit at home. You can see the protest all over the place. The protest just kick-started immediately after it is laughable. Immediately after his senseless sit at home, the protest made its way back to the street. Is that surprising? Is that surprising? I ask you. This is it. Let me bring it to a full screen. This is this morning. our people got into it. Just 1 minute. One more. So have you seen it? Have you seen it? The the real people back on the street. Let me bring you a video of it. Let me present a video of it.
They are showing their support.
All for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, because the reason why these people actually did what they did, it is only to make sure that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu remain there or feel like he's been alone. While they will be doing things, calling themselves spokesperson, and Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will be getting the news that they are actually harassing and instigating Biafra against his legal team, taking or dishing out orders, to criminals they have formed to destroy Biafra land, which Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is there to protect. So that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will be heartbroken. To see if they will break him, to say, these people, to do what Uwazurike did. Because that is the reason why the criminal in Finland is continue to tell you Uwazurike collected money. Because they turned his people against him. Because they gave him that assignment to make sure that he do everything. It's either you make people quit, use emotional blackmail, use psychological manipulation to make people quit, or to make Mazen Nnamdi Kanu quit. That is his plan, but it has failed. Now let me show you, because another one, because this is what you saw here is the evidence to show you that what they are doing is indeed the real thing. Now let me show you this call they claim that the Nigeria government is putting through to get him arrested. This is it. Is this not the call? This is it. Now let's listen to the call to see how it makes sense, to see how sensible it is. Pay attention to this.
Your government to stop supporting a terrorist in your country while he is destroying Nigeria. I am calling you from Human
Now let me start it at first.
Rights Radio and Television. Listen to me first. Listen to me first, my friend. This is ordinary. Yeah.
This is the call that the thief in Finland brought to his followers to tell them that the Nigeria government is calling for Finland to arrest him. This is it. The call.
Yeah, this is.
And listen to the content of it.
Yes, this is ordinary president calling you from Abuja, Nigeria.
Yes.
Yes, I want to tell you to tell your government to stop supporting a terrorist in your country while he is destroying Nigeria. I am calling you from Human Rights Radio and Television. Listen to me first. Listen to me first, my friend.
Please call directly.
No, I am talking to you. I want you to tell your useless government that we don't like what the Finland government is doing. By housing, he has ended the call on me. Call him back.
Now I want you to understand what is playing here. Remember we said that these people are not doing anything. They have not done anything. They have not taken it from the where they can to their from their reach, which is trying to stop the criminals that the agent provocateur in Finland breeded in Biafra land and using them to kill people. They didn't engage those ones. They want to engage Finland. Now I want you to say this is the one. If a person is calling an organization or a country representative, which they do not know, will they start on this note? The answer is no. Number two, the Finland, people, they don't speak English much. They don't speak English in a hurry. They do not speak English in a hurry. Now, somebody just called a person that you are not familiar with, that you do not know, and you start talking to them in that tone. You start talking to them in that regard. Does it make sense to you? It doesn't make sense. Because if you want to engage people whom you never spoken to before, whom you never know before, you will not engage them without letting them to hear your side of the story and then pass your information with civilized, being civilized. But in this regard, he started shouting at the whoever that they placed on the phone in their Shenanegan. He started shouting at them as if that is a way to solve a national issues. Now, this Ekperima took advantage of this. This is Shenanegan, I can tell you. It is Shenanegan because there is nothing they will not do in order to act like they are fighting the Ekperima to buy him more time, to buy him sympathizers in order to continue doing what he's doing. Listen to it. Finland, they speak Finnish language. They don't speak English in a hurry. Number one. Number two, you cannot put a call through to somebody you don't know just because you are angry. You start shouting at them. Number two, it does not make sense. This voice that is you are hearing from that end, it was not coming out clear to actually determine who is behind that voice on the other side. Now, this is from his Ekperima platform that I'm playing it. He run and got this video and he said to his followers, they are calling Finland to arrest me. For you to believe that he is fighting for your freedom, that this is what could come to him because he is fighting for your freedom. This is all Shenanegan. And this has been the way he rolled. You believe in it. You are believing this Shenanegan that he's doing. That makes you a very, very big, fool. A very, very big fool. Let's listen to it again. Listen to it again. For you to know, is this how you engage somebody as if Finland is the one who is sending the criminal to terrorize Biafra land? Listen to it. They never engage the criminal the Finland base is actually the terrorist the Finland base is using on the ground, but with their security forces. They never engage them. But the only thing they will keep on telling you is that they have invaded IPOB camp, they have invaded ESN camp, they found ESM manufactured bomb manufacturing company. That is what the zoo politicians will continue to tell you. That is what they will continue to tell you. Listen to this.
Yeah, this is. Yes, this is ordinary president calling you from Abuja, Nigeria.
Yes.
Yes, I want to tell you to tell your government to stop supporting a terrorist in your country while he is destroying Nigeria. I am calling you from Human Rights Radio and Television. Listen to me first. Listen to me first, my friend.
Please call directly.
No, I am talking to you. I want you to tell your useless government that we don't like what the government is doing.
Did you hear that? Is that a way to engage in the national issues? For a while now, as if you've been fighting. Don't you see a staged something here? And just for him to use it to buy sympathizers. Wow. I want you Biafrans to understand that what we are actually doing, we will continue to debunk the criminal and unlink him, his activities, his criminality, his terrorism from the activities of our struggle. We have sent the message to the world, these are not part of us, and the world have seen they don't have the support of our people on the ground. They do not have it. So they are on their own. They are terrorists. How can a terrorist have support of people? The same terrorist who believe he has support of people who claim that he has sacked IPOB, that it is autopilot now. That is the same person that is going about, playing all these games, playing all this drama. You want him to tell your Finland government, listen to me, my friend. Listen to me, my friend. Who does that? Who does that? If it is you, if it is indeed you are calling somebody you don't know. We know that Nigeria are not civilized, but it will not be in this manner. So look deep. Think twice before you believe everything you see. Because not everything that you see is the truth. Some of them are perceptions. Some of them are illusions. Some of them are lies that looks like the truth. It depends on you to do your investigation and your finding, so that you will follow the factual information, not a concocted lies that is cooked to actually use it to buy you as a sympathizer to the agent provocateur in Finland. Because that's exactly what they are doing. They are trying to buy him sympathizers for you to believe that he is suffering for the sake of you, when he is suffering for the sake of his criminality. The first money you make for him, he use it and buy himself a Mercedes-Benz in Finland. He bought himself a Mercedes-Benz Formatic in Finland. The first money you raise for him. Now he wants your sympathizer. He wants you to sympathize with him. A freedom fighter. So, he has to continue what he's doing because he has a lot at stake. The millions of dollars that is at stake here to be given to Simon by the Nigeria politicians is at stake. So he has to do it. He has to actually stoop this low in order to get his hands to it. But I am here to tell you and to remind you, Biafrans, that we are not fools. We follow the enemy. We follow the criminals. The phone number of this Finland-based, Finland police has been made available, which you need to continue to call them and report the activities of these Finland-based terrorists, because what they are doing, that thing, presenting those things for you to relent, believing that other people are doing it, because your problem is always that other people are doing what you could do. You believe that there are people doing it instead of you doing it yourself. You believe there are other people there, they can do it. The Finland police station is, the phone number for Finland police is +358 916 05555, which is 5 into 5 places, +358 916 05555, 5 into 5 places. You want to call Finland government and you give him the address where the terrorist is residing in Finland. Let me also give you the address where the terrorist is residing in Finland, so that they will know you know what you are doing. The address where the terrorist is residing in Finland is called Kupaka. Is it Kupakatu? Kupakatu. Kaupakatu. That is, it is called, they call it Kopakatu. Kopakatu 6A, 4th floor, 15140 Lati. 15140 Lati. That is where the agent provocateur is living in Finland. His address is Kupakatu 16A, 4th floor, 15140 Lati, in Helsinki, Finland. Now, this is when you call these phone numbers, you give them as well the address where the Finland-based criminal is domiciled, so that they will actually go there and find out what you are saying. Because this is not about a case of, it is not an inquest. It is not about opening an inquest. Because number one, you know the perpetrator of these criminal activities. So, this is not a case that you need to be investigated. This is a case where there are evidence. It is next, this is not a case where you don't know the criminal that killed a pregnant woman, that killed people in the name of enforcing senseless sit at home that does not actually make any sense. Let me call that area for you again. Kaupakatu, Kopakatu 6A, 4th floor, 15140 Lati, Helsinki. That is where the Berima agent provocateur is domiciled. +358 9160 5 into 5 places. That is the police phone number for the police in Finland. You must be civilized when you are speaking to them. You are not Nigeria, you are Biafra. You must direct your message to them in a good note, so that they will listen to you. Regardless of how angry or mad you might be, you must direct your message to them. Now, in this regard, we will continue to actually expose the activities of this criminal. There is something that Atiku Abubakar said. I don't know, there is something I was supposed to actually do here, but my time will not permit me to do it. Now, let me Now I want you to listen to this.
Despite his shortcomings, but at least it was a step towards in our country today. Political zone, for instance.
I want us to look into this. Let us actually
What we intend to do differently, if possibly, is not being done now.
just one moment. Let us see what Atiku Abubakar had to say about Biafra, so that we will continue to educate our people, because it is very, very necessary. And that will be the last, broadcast we are going to do here, the last topic we are going to treat here. Let us
Stem the tide. Specifically, do we intend to use political solutions to resolve IPOB agitations as against current government position? Related to these activities are the activities of unknown government who have been wreaking havoc in the zone. If you intend to use political solutions of IPOB, how do you sieve the wheat from the chaff? That is addressing the political solutions of IPOB and at the same time isolating and identifying the unknown government for appropriate action to stabilize the region. Then question 2 is that
just pause on that.
Okay.
I like, so that we don't muddle up it's a very critical question, which I like. And a lot of Nigerians who want to know what solutions you have towards that.
Like he said,
before we go to his answer, I want you to pay very good attention to the answer that he's going to give. Pay very good attention to the answer that he's about to give. Let me, before we go there, because let me see if I can get more people into this program. I want you to listen attentively to what he has to say, so that you will also know when that exactly what is going on in Nigeria. Let us see, so that you will know exactly what is going on in Nigeria. Okay. Let me quickly bring more people into this program, that because when we are sending our messages, we send it directly. And I want you to continue to share this video. If you are joining now, share the video, invite others to join. Those watching on YouTube at Judge Money Blog, don't forget to follow that YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe to that YouTube channel. Very, very important. If you are watching on Facebook, don't forget to follow those pages where you are watching from on Facebook. Now, let us go there. Now, let us see the response of Atiku Abubakar towards the question of IPOB and IPOB, how he is going to actually bring, a solution or resolution to IPOB's struggle. Listen.
geopolitical zone has its own peculiar security challenge. He brought out the iPod issue in the southeast. The iPod issue in the southeast is basically as far as my understanding is concerned, is about the realization of Biafra. Is it possible for Biafra to be realized today? How? By negotiations or by going through another civil war, which we can't afford to? So I believe we should be able to negotiate with the agitators from the southeast as far as the issue of Biafra is concerned. We believe what they need is more autonomy as far as their sub-region is concerned. That is why we propose restructuring of the country, by which we mean devolution of more powers and resources. After all, there was Eastern Nigeria in the First Republic.
Now, did you hear that? After all, there was Eastern Nigeria in the First Republic. For you to know that what we are fighting for is what has been there. What we are fighting for is what has been there, which is something that this Nigeria and Britain does not want it, because they know that it's been there. Biafra being free, Biafra being on their own, Biafra being economically free and function as a nation is going to jeopardize the excessiveness of the Western power on this, Republic of Biafra. It is going to actually hinder this Western power from exploiting the resources coming from that region of sub-Saharan. That is the reason why they are trying every possible best for them to make sure there is no Biafra. There has been Eastern region in the First Republic before they start bringing their criminalities and all that. Now, because they have seen how well this Eastern region was doing on their own. They have seen how well this Eastern region and how stubborn we are, because we know more than they know. We gave them the civilization that they are claiming they are bringing to us. That is the reason why we do not accept them to come and exploit us economically. Rather, we will go into business with you. You pay us, we give you what you want, not coming into our land in the name of you are coming to bring civilization, which we taught you in order to exploit our resources and what we have and impoverish the nation. They know that we know these things. That is the reason why Britain will never allow this nation called Biafra to stand on its own. They have actually engaged with so many, structures in Africa, such as Africa Union, such as many, even Pan-Africa, they have actually infiltrated them. To continue to tell them Africa need to come together for the fear of Biafra. As if coming of Biafra is going to make Africa not to come together. How do you want Africa to come together? But when Muammar Gaddafi said that he want to bring and unify Africa with one currency, they killed him. How many of them say anything? How many of them have opened an inquest on the reason why they have killed Muammar Gaddafi? Did the African Union realize and open an inquest case against America to actually find out who killed Muammar Gaddafi and what is their reason? Nobody did it. They have been engaging all sort of, every areas, every organization, Britain, to make sure they don't support the restoration of Biafra. Do you know the reason why they are doing it? They are doing it because they know that we are going to liberate Africa, direct and indirect, through our action, through our moves, through our establishment and actually development. They know we are going to develop Africa because we develop everywhere we touch base with. That is Biafrans. Anywhere you see we touch base with, we contribute immensely to their economy. We contribute immensely to their infrastructure. We contribute. Regardless of this Nigeria dark cloud, what I call it dark cloud, as you may know it, because everything dark is evil, because we are dark. But that is the reason why I am actually putting up a disclaimer. The thing you know as a dark cloud, which is not anything dark, that cloud which is bad omen, that is called Nigeria, is the reason why we are being hindered. Everywhere we go, we are labeled criminals, we are labeled this, we are labeled that, because of that name Nigeria. That is the reason why we must actually say no. Because these Nigerians, they are well aware that Biafra existed even pre-colonialism. Biafra existed even amid colonialism. Biafra existed post-colonialism. It was just the politics they started playing, which actually, trying to make sure, because they know if you leave these people to, they are going to embarrass you, they are going to disgrace you, because they are going to build their nation to be, and you will never have access to their resources, which is what will make you a big Nigeria, because of the oil and gas coming from their country. Without you realizing, there are many resources that is coming out from that Nigeria. Even Nigeria, talk more of Biafra land, there are different types of resources. Nigeria have resources that is uncovered. Likewise, Biafra land, it is not only about oil and gas. There are many things that are coming there. That is the reason why you find Chinese being kidnapped in Nigeria today. Because they have also discovered what you have that you do not know. They are everywhere, like termites. Digging your resources, taking your resources, exploiting them, even taking your railways, buying them, because they want to recycle them and use it for their own benefit. Because you don't know what to do with it. You are acting, in a layman's perspectives. That's what you are doing. You don't know how to utilize the resources, the natural resources given to your land by God, in order to use it to make the country great. That is exactly the reason why I think we say that this place existed in the first, did they call it republic? In the first republic, Eastern region existed. Eastern region, which consists of the place they have actually segregated, or they have actually cut out from this Eastern region, called them South-South, which is a tautology. Now, they existed as an independent body who is actually taking care of their resources. Now they know. But now, his answer, the only place I am actually capitalizing on is that Eastern region existed in the First Republic. Now, that is where I am actually picking up point. Not other promises that he is here to do. At least he is better than Peter Obi in answering these questions. It is not about Peter Obi who will tell you that he will bring you back to Nigeria and unite you. He told you that Eastern region existed in the First Republic. And the only way you can do it is through a round table, or we go to war. Two things involved. Either we go to the round table or we go to war. That is exactly the proposal and the response of the presidential aspirant in the likes of Atiku Abubakar. And that is exactly the real truth behind this problem that we find ourselves facing with Nigeria. Now, the problem is not about speaking it because you want you want vote from people. I applaud you for actually speaking the truth, knowing that we are not going back. It is either you sit on a round table, which is called political solution, or we go to war. Because one thing must happen. We must get our freedom. It is non-negotiable. And for those who are claiming that, you know, separating from Nigeria is actually going to hinder the unification of Africa, you are actually fooling yourself. Because there is no such thing like unification of Africa. It is an agenda that has been instilled in some of this group in order for you to use it to waste your time. Because we are tribalistic in nature. If the unification of Africa is making Africa to operate like, you know, true federal nation, engaging their public, engaging their politicians, building one currency, which is in economics. You make Africa to unify through economic establishments. Not you will say you will bring me one person that is from South Africa who does not like somebody that is from Nigeria or from Botswana that does not like somebody from Zimbabwe. You say you're going to unite them together. How are you going to unite them together? The reason why they are fighting, it is nothing else but because of their tribalistic differences. That is the reason why now that you see what do you call it? This season, everybody is going to go home where they come from. Because they want to go home where they are called, where they are from. That is being tribalistic. When you see Europeans, it's either they fly for holiday or they tell you they are going to overseas for holiday, but you are tracing back your home, where you come from. Because you know what is home. You are tribalistic. When you see an African man, the first thing they will ask you, where do you come from? Because you are tribalistic in nature. That is exactly the true meaning of it. Because of that, there is no way you will tell me that you will now say Ghana and Cameroon, you are now one because we are trying to unite Africa. If you do that, that is agenda you people are selling that is making Pan-African movement not to actually, moving in a very slow pace. Because the best thing you can do for yourself and remove this excessiveness, interference of this Western, people who are doing, they do this clandestine job and they are actually infiltrating all of you. You would not know when you are in Pan-African Parliament, they are there. Just like last year or 2 years ago, when the French people actually interfered in what you are doing, that you people started fighting for power. Who is going to be the president? Where is it going? Is it going to come from SADC or from Sub-Saharan or from, Central? Or you fought yourselves. It is as a result of infiltration. So if you unify Africa in that regard, which means every day we are going to be fighting ourselves, who is going to be the president of this mighty Africa? Then we start killing each other again. No. That is the agenda you are selling. That is not it is not your solution to the problem that you are trying to tackle. It is infiltrated solution. You can never unite Africa. You need to revolutionize this structure called African Union. Because African Union is a tool of neocolonialists, which they are using to bring Africa backward. Until you revolutionize African Union, make sure that they are actually representing what they are built to represent. Making every Africa to feel included, including her citizens. That is what is a manifesto of African Union, making sure that every Africa is included in everything. But today, what is going on? What is going on? African Union is complicit that they cannot even fight for their own. They cannot fight for the truth that is going to help to challenge economic instabilities in Africa. They cannot. They are just there every day, African Union, African Union. To the extent that the Nigeria president will die, African Union concealed it. Is that not being complicit? That is the reason why you have to revolutionize African Union structure. Make them to know, their purpose. Because their purpose is supposed to be, when Zimbabwe was sanctioned to death, they were supposed to actually bring help to Zimbabwe because there was no reason to sanction Zimbabwe. If they come together and say, let every Africa support Zimbabwe to build, we cannot allow people from Europe to come and destroy our countries, that people from that country will be running away to other countries, which will now bring fight, that you are coming to take over what belongs to me from your country to my country, because that is exactly what you call xenophobic. And these things they are talking about all the time is what is actually propagating the issue of xenophobic, actions. Being prejudices, you are prejudiced to your fellow African countries because of the bad governance and those you call African Union, who is not actually competent in the position they found themselves occupying. Each and every day, what we find ourselves doing is fighting each other, competing with each other. Why don't we actually compete for the benefit of our nation? So what am I trying to say before I actually deviate from what I'm saying? What I am saying is that agenda that the Pan-African movement is actually trying to use, that they are standing for, which is the unification of Africa. I believe it is not your initiative, because you cannot unify a tribalistic people. You can only bring them together economically. Make Africa to be a true federal nation, true federal continent, which the African Union revolutionized, make them to actually be the center where Africa will be paying tax, and where they will be actually making sure that if there is any soldier that is, African military, you have African military, and then you open a trade, free trade in Africa. You make it a free trade in Africa. Any nation who is being sanctioned, you investigate it thoroughly to know, is this nation supposed to be sanctioned, or is it because they are standing on the right for people not to exploit them economically? Then you come in to intervene on behalf of this nation in order to make sure that this nation is not prejudiced because of, their economic protection that they are building. Because most of the nations in Africa they always get sabotaged. If they see they cannot sabotage them, they will sanction them. Because I haven't seen any African nation who has picked up arms to fight Europeans or Western world, which will lead them to being sanctioned. I have not seen. So what am I trying to say? It is that these things that each and every time I engage anybody who is a Pan-African or Pan-Africanist, they will tell me that what we are fighting is to unify Africa. It is a wrong narrative. It is a wrong message, because you will never achieve it. It is not possible. Don't you understand the reason why there is black on black violence? Because people jealous one another. Do you know the reason why people are jealousing one another? The reason for people jealousing one another, it is because there is inadequate provision of resources. Inadequate provisions of resources, number one. Number two is, tribal differences. Number three is language. There are too many languages to talk about. Language. Number four is, let me take this. So, because of all these things, let's just stop this shenanigan. It is a time wasting strategy. Because if you are educated enough with the, when I'm talking about education, it is African education, understanding the challenges of Africa, understanding the differences of Africa. You will understand that the unification of Africa is through economy. It's through, economic, revolution. Making sure that you support each other economically. So that when I am coming to your country from my own country in Africa, I am coming there because there is a business I cited in that country. Not because my country is actually, messing me up. That is it. It has been the agenda of Pan-Africa. I believe you must have achieved what you are looking for. You should have achieved what you are looking for. First of all, before you tell me something that I will believe you, you will tell me the reason why you people are fighting, who will be the leader of Pan-African movement in 2021, or is it 2020? 2021, yes, 2021. Fighting each other. They actually stood up to fight themselves. You tell me why? Because you people are tribalistic in nature. Nkemo na azụ n'afịa. It is me or nobody. It is always me or nobody. But what about when we take it to business? Free trade. We go out there. Business is not, it is a business. Politics is different from being business. If I come to the market, global stage, African global stage, we do our business. We compete through business. When we do that, we go back to our places and we reap the benefit of competition that we have done. And it is free trade. You know that you are going to actually manufacture. If you have gold and you bring it to the global stage, or we actually can go back to trade by barter. We go back to trade by barter. If it is so difficult, if Nigeria or Biafra have crude oil and you have gold, and you know that crude oil has been your problem, and Nigeria's gold has been their problem, you supply them gold while they are supplying you crude oil. Instead of you leaving African nation, those are the people who are telling you we want to unify Africa. You leave Africa, you are going to buy oil in Russia. Now, today, Russia is fighting war. People are feeling the spikes because they are not buying oil from Africa. They are buying from Russia. These are the things you need to think about. Then you will come to a resolution to say, no, this guy is right. Let us fight in a way of revolutionizing the center, which is African Union, to make them strong, to make them, to remove every mose amongst them, to make sure to build the African military. That is the unification. You build African military, that if there is a terrorist attack in Biafra land, you will take from your military. You don't need to actually run around because we are paying for these things. You take the military to, once we call in, you take the military to go and actually solve the menace of terrorist activities in Biafra land. We have these things so that no nation will rise up to actually intimidate Africa. We give them what they want. So in that regard, if you people want to fight who will be the leader of African Union, you fight it. It will not be a national thing. It will not be a national problem. It will be, central problem. Just like you did in 2021. Zimbabwe fighting Nigeria, Nigeria fighting Egypt, Egypt fighting Malawi, Malawi fighting South Africa, who is going to be the leader. You make it your problem. And for you to know, there is a border before pre-colonialism. There is something called boundary, pre-colonialism. We might call it boundary, they called it border. They started building all these borders after their amalgamation and after their wrong teachings. They started building these borders. We had boundaries which shows that this is my place, this is yours. When you cross here, you tell me what you are crossing it for. That is it. It is not Europeans who gave us border. They never gave us border. Now, what am I trying to say? Atiku Abubakar said that Eastern region existed in the first whatever he said, that Eastern region existed because they existed pre-colonialism. Now, what is making Nigeria to look like the worst country in Africa? Do you know why? It is the same agenda that Pan-Africa is actually proposing. They call it unification. Unification. Before you talk about unification, look at the 200 and something million called giant of Africa today. Are they progressing? Or are they running helter-skelter as a result of unification? As a result of amalgamation? Is it not the same problem you are going to face? So we look towards the history, we look at our problem, we look at our differences, we know our problem, we know our challenges, we now seek for a solution, not looking for solutions where there is no solution. Disintegration of Nigeria is something that is not negotiable. Because you cannot bring people together to continue to kill themselves. Every time they will tell you that your strength lies in your diversity. Be your own side, be our own side. When we come to the business field, let our strength of the business lies in our diversity. Not my strength of lying in your diversity. You are making decision for me. When it is not the type of decision I can make for myself, had it been that you continue to tell me my strength lies in your diversity, and you have built this nation economically, they are actually waxing strong in the global stage. You haven't done that in the last 63 years. You continue to tell me that our strength lies in the diversity. What type of strength? 6 decades. You haven't done any implementation that will help ordinary people to thrive. Only politicians. Rich continue to get richer. Poor continue to get poorer. Continue to die. Hunger and starvation, intimidation of the government of the day, intimidation of the criminal, terrorism making its way to every corner in Africa. And you are telling me that these people are doing it great. It is the wrong thing that was done. The only way that the Western world will get to you is to look for people who does not understand each other, bring them together, call them one nation. They will continue to fight because there has been a war in Africa. And that is a boundary war in Africa, even before pre-colonialism. Now they saw that this war has been what is making these people weak. Let us actually bring them together so that they will fight it inside themselves, among themselves, while we are stealing from them. Now we need to call Britain to call for release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. We need to call Britain to give us Biafra. That is what they want. Because the primary reason why they bring this amalgamation is to exploit us. So, Atiku Abubakar knows that Biafra has been independent. Atiku Abubakar knows that we will get Biafra, whether through war or through the round table. We are proposing to get Biafra through a peaceful, resolution. But if they believe that they will want us to go through the other way, and we don't have any other option rather than going through the other way, we will go, because we can never let Biafra go. That is exactly one thing they need to understand. We're not going back in this quest of self-determination. We are not going back in the restoration of our sovereignty. which has been there pre-colonialism. Because the reason why I am saying this, there is nothing your oppressor will do for you that will help you to thrive. Your oppressor can never give you something that will benefit you, that will be beneficial to you. They can only give you something that will be beneficial to themselves. That is something you need to understand about the oppressors. So these are something that, a task that must be done. Every structure created by your oppressors, destroy it, you will see yourself progressing. Had it been the reason why there was this coup in 1996, the coup you saw there in 1966 rather, sorry, it is the coup that they know, these people, they understand that if they remove those people that they plan to remove, that there will be no bloodbath situation you will find in Nigeria. There will be no economic, exploitation in Nigeria, because they have removed those who agreed with this Britain and their Western allies in order to be exploiting our economy while trying to, nurture this their one Nigeria. Had it been that coup of revolution, it is called a secret revolution. Had it been it took place, you will not find me and you running up and down, because those people who are making sure, who sign what is killing me and you, those young people, young military, will change the fate that time. They were going to change the fate, and we were going to have true federalism, and nobody will be exploiting us economically. But because it failed, because there are people like Ifajo, there are people like, just like you see Simon Ekpa today, it failed. And how it failed? Because those who brought you together will never allow you to do anything that will make their hands, that will wash their hands off the nation's economy. So, the only way we can actually revisit that thing, that thing that those people try to do, it is only through disintegration of that contraption. If we disintegrate the contraption through a peaceful resolution, come in the next, 5 decades or even 3 decades in that area of sub-Saharan, because we did it in a peaceful resolution. Come there, you will find that place being like, being better than many places in the Western world, because it is a peaceful resolution. We will have free trade. We will make sure that we will now build our places without prejudices to one another, because you are your own, your religious affiliation is not standing in my own way of my belief system. My own religious affiliation is not standing in your own way of religious affiliation or your belief system. We are now independently working towards the, expansion of our economy and making ourselves great as a nation. Until we'll understand that, you will never go forward. You will never thrive. Every day, you will be putting hands inside your anus and smelling it. You will still remain where you are, because those who made you what you are today will never give you something that will work for you. Why is Catriona Line all over the place? Every time there is an election, Catriona Line will be everywhere, going to presidential aspirant, going to them. They will not tell you what she come to tell them, because she's a messenger of those people who amalgamated you. She is the new Lord Lugard of Flora Shaw. She is the new of them. She is there making sure that their investment is up and running without interference or anything. So they need to select somebody that is best for their business. That is the reason why, whether Atiku realizes or not, he cannot do it. He is compromised. These people are, all of them, they are all compromised. But I applaud him for speaking out the truth. In the First Republic, there's been Eastern region. But if he had extended it to say that pre-colonialism, there is Eastern region, we might not be answering Biafra that time, but there has been a nation which is independent that was amalgamated with the nations called Royal Niger Company, and they name all of them Niger area. Why the amalgamation? A big question that needs to be answered. So let us actually finalize by listening to Atiku Abubakar.
And they developed at their own pace and with their own resources. So I see no reason why a middle of the road solution, in other words, restructuring, devolution of more powers and resources, should not be a solution to their various agitations. The agitations are in different perspectives, to my understanding. One of it is political. And political has the sense of how does the Southeast, participate in power sharing in the country. And we are in a democratic society. There is no one single geopolitical, zone in this country that on its own can achieve political power without crossing the Niger or being in alliance with other geopolitical zones. I think this is what they should begin to think. Okay, how do they partner with other parts of the country to secure political power, for their own interests or to protect their own interests? I think these are the way to go as far as the agitations for IPOD is concerned. I don't know whether my running mate has something to add, being also from almost about our neighbors, to the southeast.
Essentially,
Now, he actually recognized and say there is two agitation. One is IPOB, the other one is political. Which it is IPOB agitation that actually opened the eyes of these political harlots to understand that they have been running up and down Abuja to Lagos, Lagos to Enugu, Enugu to Anambra, Anambra to Ebonyi, Ebonyi to Imo State, Imo State to Abia State, Abia State to River State, River State to Benin City, to Edo State, to Delta State. All these places you've been running up and down. You never realize that in the last 6 decades, you have never been a president of Nigeria. It was only when Mazen Nnamdi Kanu rose up to fight for the freedom and emancipation of the peculiar people, the lost tribe, that they realized, which actually kickstarted their consciousness to realize, oh, we haven't been president all this while. But you never ever try to stand up to support that agitation that triggered your consciousness into understanding that you have been marginalized in the last 6 decades. You never appreciated it. You never actually supported it. You now created your own agitation. And you want our agitation to support yours, which is a lie. If Atiku Abubakar mean what he is saying today, I would rather support him. Or if Tifubu mean what he actually come to actually be vocal, speak the truth, I would rather support him than supporting those who will call themselves my own people, who has been running all this while without realizing that they have been marginalized. As a result of that, our people are running helter-skelter there. Our land is not developed, but we are going to develop other nations. We are going to develop other places without developing our own place, because we find opportunities there. We find greener pastures there. You only realize because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu woke you up. You don't appreciate it. You never appreciated it. Now, how can I support you? Because if you cannot appreciate that IPOB struggle actually kickstart your memories to realize that in the last 6 decades of Nigeria independence, you have never smelled that seat or position of Nigeria's leadership ever since it turns to democracy, even after the war where they said ceasefire or where they said no victor, no vanquish. Has there been anything like no victor, no vanquish? Had there been anything like that? No. You have never realized all these things. The only thing you now did, and Igbo presidency, it will quench the agitation. You ask Peter Obi. Did Peter Obi ever told you that the Eastern region existed in the first republic? Did he ever speak like that? The answer is no. He never spoke like that because he's not sincere. And we are fighting for sincerity. We are fighting for equity. We are fighting for justice. We are fighting for against marginalization. We are fighting for freedom above all. That is what we are fighting for. And these things that I mentioned are the things that is going to give us this freedom. Are the things that are called freedom. A Nigeria where there is inequality all over every corner. Akaka bajiaka. Nukumong puto boda waloso. That is inequality. That is it. You look at it and you believe that we are going to thrive with all this nonchalant, or will I say wicked behavior, insincerity. Oh, you need to understand and appreciate that thing that actually made you realize that you have never been president of Nigeria in the last 6 decades. Almost a century. You need to realize it. You need to appreciate it. You need to put it, pay your support to it. Because these things are reciprocal. You receive what you give out. You don't realize it. You want to think that you are intelligent. Because the problem of these politicians, they always think they can maneuver. They always think that they can override. They always think that they are more intelligent than every other person that is around. That is the reason why these politicians will go ahead. They will now try to use your own initiative to work against you. And your initiative is because of our marginalization, bad governance, and all that triggered the agitation of, separatists, which is that we are not going back from this agitation until we realize the sovereign nation of Biafra. Now you come up with Igbo presidency. Igbo presidency. The fact that the thief in Finland is actually using that for his own selfish aggrandizement by doing all this shenanigan, causing bloodbath in our land, does not mean that if we are giving order to actually make sure that we don't declare our support towards this election shenanigan come 2023, or to give an order for people to sit at home on the day of election, does not mean it is not going to happen. We can do it. We can. IPOB can. There is no, in Biafra land, Biafra land is controlled by IPOB. Not by government faction, not by government terrorists, sponsored terrorists in Finland. You have seen the result. It played, it showed. Because it is not YouTube poll. It is not YouTube poll who say we have sacked these people. It is not. This is, it played, it showed. You now use your tongue and count your teeth. In that regard, we can stop this election in Biafra land. We, IPOB, can stop it. It is not faction, criminal, who is trying to stop it because one of the aspirants has bribed him or promised him $2 million. It is not because of that. If we are doing it, we are doing it because we have found that it is going to help us to achieve our aim. Because you as a presidential aspirant or you as Igbo presidency, it is what you are doing to counter our agitation. The Igbo presidency was bettered in order to counter the agitation in the south, in the so-called southeast. That is exactly the initiative of this Igbo presidency. That is the plan. But we know better. We are wise. We are watching, all of them. We are watching. Because in my own opinion, for this thing that Atiku said, I rather give him my support than giving my support to somebody who is there to counter the agitation, bouncing around the bush, acting as if telling you that he will bring you back to Nigeria. He will bring you back to Nigeria. So, in this regard, when you look at all these things, you will see. I know that Atiku is saying that to gain our support. I know. He's a politician. But the fact that he has said it, the truth today is what I am picking up. There is East before the First Republic. It was in existence. So that is exactly what I am picking up from there. And he went ahead and said, it's either we sit on a round table or we go to war. Because he realized that one thing must happen. And he's seen that we cannot go back. Regardless of what you throw at us, it will never make us to capitulate. Regardless of the faction you create to come and counter us, it will never make us to capitulate. We continue to move forward. We continue to do what we are doing until we achieve our aim. Because once we engage, we will never go back. So your Igbo presidency, your whatever presidency you are fighting for, don't you ever think that the fact that we are not talking the way the agent provocateur is talking means that we are in support of you. We are not. We are not because you are there to counter our movement. And we are using our diplomacy the way you are using your own diplomacy. Coming to tell us you will bring us to Nigeria, we are using our diplomacy, being general about this your political processes of this your political way of manipulating the whatever we are doing. We are being diplomatic. The same way you people believe that you are sensible. And let us do it like this. We'll lure them into we get Igbo presidency. It will quench the agitation, and now we will now confuse these people, bring them back to Nigeria. Before they will pick their pieces again, we have gone far. By the time they will, that is the reason why they continue to hold Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, because they want to see if they will get his Igbo presidency. Because they know that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will Onyelengoba. You can never bring that rubbish to him. Your politicking and all that, he does not care. All he wants is Biafra. And that is the reason why Malami will continue to tell you that it is a decision of the public. Which public? How many people have you seen calling for or protesting for non-release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu? How many of them? But you see protests everywhere. For you to see how deceitful these people are. Everywhere is a protest calling for the release of Ohamadike. Why? Because they know that Ohamadike have the interests of the people at heart. And his people are actually following him. Including those who are not his people. They are calling for his release. And Malami come to tell us that The reason why they did not release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, it is for security reasons. It is because it is not a decision made by one person. It is a decision made by public. Where is the public? Where is the public that made such decision? Because each and every day they come to the media, they lie to you. There is no public. It is just a group of cunning people who is making Biafra land to find itself in this conundrum. Because they want to make Biafra land to be a place where you cannot have peace. The same way it is happening in Sambisa Forest. The same way it is happening in the northeast. That is their plan. That is the reason why they are holding Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Why breeding a terrorist? Remember these same people breeded a terrorist with Boko Haram. Boko Haram stand up to do what they believe in. They actually created a faction amongst them and make it a terrorist. This is the same thing they want to do with this Ifeanyi Njoku in Finland. Before you know it, then everybody will be running helter-skelter. No, terrorists in Alibo, terrorists in Biafra land. We are not going there again. They will start killing the way they are killing in the northeast and in the Sambisa forest. Before you know it, they will gain momentum. If not the resoluteness of IPOB. If not for the resoluteness, do you think that these people will not overwhelm us? They would have overwhelmed you. They would have made Biafra land to be a no-go area. They will say, it will go down the history. There was a time there was IPOB. Then the government, there was a faction. Now they are now terrorists. The same way it happened with Boko Haram. That is the same strategy they want to use. Using Simon and Joko Ifeanyi Ifajuna. Have you ever asked yourself why this senseless sit at home declared all of a sudden from nowhere? Because there is some things are changing. Things are changing. Fulani men are attacking our people in Enugu State. And the ESN, DOS deployed ESN with the calling of the communities. Now a distraction has to come in. A distraction so that because they know that they have tried everything to destroy ESN. A distraction has to come in. They know that if they call for sit at home, it is a double-edged sword. They will keep ESN busy, trying to look for people who are actually terrorizing our people, which is Fulani, and trying to actually look for the criminals who are trying to stop people from going to their workplaces. They want to give them a double job so that Fulani will make their way to some certain places in Biafra land. Have you seen the double-edged sword that these people are using? And they want to claim they are calling government of Finland when they cannot even release the military they release on a normal day. When there is nothing happening in Biafra land, they release their military to go and kill and bomb villages. Like Hope on them. They didn't do that. Is that not telling you something? Is that not an evidence to show you that these things they are doing, it is the same thing they did to Boko Haram? That you now hear Boko Haram as a dangerous terrorist with a blood rage. That is the same thing they want to do to you. Because if they want to create a terrorist in your place, you know how they create those terrorists? They will create that terrorist with your people. Because so many of you believe that it is only when they, because they have tried with the Fulani herdsmen to overwhelm us. ESN did the job and still doing the job. They now see the only way we can now establish these terrorist activities raw in Biafra land, it is to use Igbo-speaking people. Igbo speaking people, so that the witch fly at night, in the morning a child die. That is the reason why they use this boy in Finland, the terrorist in Finland, because they saw that people are talking today. They claim they are calling Finland government to intervene. We are watching, we see all these things. We know Anyan and Kalalala. We know something that is set up. We know a drama. We know a joke when we find it. So, let me not deviate. For Peter Obi not to speak this way about Biafra, dancing around the bush, because they want at all cost the Igbo presidency to stop the agitation. Because they believe, because when he go to London, he will tell them that the reason for agitation is marginalization. You see, we have never been president in the last 6 decades. Why do you think there will be no agitation? That is the reason why I am standing up to stop this agitation and this senseless agitation. That is what he will call it when he go to a secret meeting with his those who are actually flaunting him to destroy this agitation. He will make that statement. That is the reason why he will not make different one when he comes to the media, where you are hearing. He will rather be here, and we will take you back to Nigeria. We know all of it. But I want our people to know that it takes a diplomacy. They are using diplomacy to actually counter what we are doing. We need to use diplomacy to actually get back at them. It is not about to go and do this, go and do that, pick up an arm, come and do this, come and do that. Is it not Ohaneze today calling people to pick up arms to defend themselves? But when Mazen Nnamdi Kanu created security to defend them, nobody was in support of it. Can't you see things are falling into places? Slowly but surely, it will come to stay. It needed diplomacy. It needs you to be, steadfast, relentlessly. Continue to do what you are doing. Make sure that you do not violate any law of any nation where you are domiciled. Continue to expose every atrocities of these people who believe that they have the right to kill you, even when you are not fighting. We continue to actually expose anything that they have thrown at us. We continue to bring it to light. The time of reckoning is coming. The time of reckoning, it is coming. And it will just adjust. It will happen by itself. You see this Nigeria? Nigeria is a time bomb. Have you seen the outside, is it the Northern Elders group or forum? Said that are blocking food from coming to Southeast. Is it not the solution of Nigeria falling into place? It is. So when there is a dissolution of Nigeria, now we will now be professional in our businesses. If we want to buy food from Nigeria, we will order food that we want to buy and export to the one we want to sell them. We will no longer be that we are you are marginalizing us. The allocation, this place is smaller than the allocation that place. There is no need to fight again. There will be no more reason to fight. Then there will be a reason to do business. Because you want to get my money in order to use it to bring economic stability to your own nation. I want to get your money to use it to bring economic stability to my own nation. There is no reason for me and you to fight anymore. Isn't that gonna be beautiful? Why are you actually, you see where they are fighting with bread. You want to go where they are fighting with stone. Lack of discipline in Nigeria, in average Nigeria mindset. Lack of discipline is the problem that we are having. Atiku say it's either round table or war, because he is there, understood what is exactly going on. He knows that, of course, he knows the response from our leader. He knows the reason why they are keeping our leader, because they want him to capitulate, and which he refused. So Atiku knows it is either a round table or war. We prefer round table does not mean we are scared of war. These are the things we present. We prefer round table, but does not mean we are scared of war. Nobody has a monopoly of violence. Nobody has a monopoly of war, because when you're warring, the casualty comes from both sides. That is one important thing that we need to understand. At least he understood that. Even if he is using it to actually sell his political campaign, he has spoken. That is the most important thing. That is the most important thing. So, this is exactly where I am going to actually leave it. But let me play this articles, this thing. Let me play it further.
Our presidential candidate has laid the ground. He's told Nigerians what he intends to do. Strategic engagement is very important, but the principle also of being inclusive in governance is very important. Because I know that the Southeast have continued to also agitate as a result of the fact that they don't feel included if you watch the security architecture of the current government. They don't appear to play any major roles. So they see themselves as excluded in quotes, are not part of that type of government that Baka wants to run. He's going to run an all-inclusive government in which...
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, Mazi, I salute you. Basically, I try to appreciate you. It's like you come straight to my mind to do justice to these brokers you do this morning. I've been looking forward of it because there are some things we can't keep quiet anymore. The reason why this Ebrima in Finland take advantage is because he interviewed Mazen Namdekano, but as he stands this time around, we are not going to keep quiet. Mazi, hold on for me 1 minute.
Of course, we are not going to keep quiet. And we have never been quiet. We will continue. We will continue. It is a faction which was created through the woman.
Yes. Yes, Mazi, can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Yes, Mazi, sorry, somebody disrupted me. Where I am, I'm in a third corner now. I want to tell you something, Mazi. It's very, very important because we kept quiet and this guy take advantage. Now, we're not going to allow them to be made again. You know why? If you go to Mazi China's Twitter this morning, when I wake up, there is a Yoruba guy who abandoned freedom. And then he's saying that he's going to do a series about Biafra agitation. A Yoruba man abandoned his Oduduwa agitation, and now he wants to do series, movie about Biafran's agitation. You see, well, like as you said, when you Mazi keep saying that there's something wrong about the Yoruba, these Yoruba people, people will think we are just antagonizing them or something. There's something wrong about them, and Biafra should wake up and tell them in their face, just like me. I speak the truth in their face at them. They know me anyway. They know. You see, Mazi, the second one is this. If by now, no Biafran man or woman who did not know that Samanapa is working for Turumbu, Samanapa is working for Turumbu, may God punish the idiots. By now, anybody did not know that Samanapa is working for Turumbu,
of course.
We will give you the evidence if you want it. Are you aware now that in Sima is supporting Samanapa? Although I told you last time, go and check out Sima video 2 days ago.
I am aware.
In Sima now have deviated from Idu. Now he is supporting Tunumbu Jagaban. You remember that Asaruto Kubo said that he's Tunumbu he know. Now Tunumbu he believe on.
Yes.
Now go and watch in Sima. Our people should go and watch in Sima utterance with Asaruto Kubo. He is referring to what Asaruto Kubo said. That when Tunumbu take power, is going to kill Indigo and Biafrans. Insima is saying it. You know why I'm telling Biafrans this? Not everything these people will keep quiet. We have to take them serious. Why do you see this forceful sit at home against our people? Tunumbu is supporting insecurity in Biafra land through Samanepa and Asarudo Kubo. Tunumbu, Japan, is supporting, he's directly paying for insecurity in Biafra land. I am saying it here for Biafrans to open their ear. You see what is happening in our land. Just a sudden, these people bring out sit at home. People cannot reason where Mazi said, oh no, that word Mazi that have happened. You know what they want to portray to the whole world now? They want to show to the whole world that Igbo people are killing themselves, which is a lie, Look at Maz, what I'm telling you, one guy, a Yoruba guy have said it again, that why Igbo people are killing themselves. And I think it's the same guy that want to do this series. Our people allow themselves to be used by Samaneba, thinking that he's fighting for them. I am going to swear to this one where I stand. Samaneba want Mazenam Dekano to die. Igbo, Biafrans, now Shenanegan. Oh, Mazi, I wish our people knows what we know. You know, when we are saying it here, it pains me until they hear it from Mazi. No wonder Mazi say until they hear it from a white man. That is why they will know that, yes, what he's saying is truth. That is Samaneba want to check our people did not know it. Why our people is so gullible and so stupid? Why can our people cannot ask questions? Why is it that our people, they can't read the handwriting on the wall?
I want to show something because I only have 6 minutes left before I shut down.
Yes, Mazi, I will leave it here, but I really appreciate you. I want our people to go back to watching. It's not that we are saying that Nsima is anybody. Now, I think Nelly have left him. They are fighting. It's not that they are calling him. It's nobody. To make you see people that give him support. That is challenging us today. But you can see what Nsima.
Hold on.
President. Nsimana is championing for Tunumbu to be his president. At the same time, he's telling us that Igbo people is going to.
Let's leave it here. Let's leave it here because my time is over. Gone. Let's leave it here.
I will call you. I will call you. Thank you very much. There's a lot to say, but I will call you later.
All right.
He raised the alarm on live television that new groups may emerge in the region to counter the secessionist agitations of the indigenous people of Biafra. The governor went on to describe the two separatist groups in the region, which are IPOB and MASOB, the movement for the actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra. The governor said MASOB had never issued threats in the region. IPOB, on the other hand, has been issuing threats and says he fears that if IPOB does not call its people to order to stop the threats and killings, other groups will rise up to counter it.
I call China.
Now other group will rise up to counter it. Now this is where this boy called Nsima. Remember that all he's looking for, he is a supporter of Tinubu, a Saredo Kubo supporter of Tinubu, Simon Epa, secret supporter of Tinubu. All these people, the thing that is now bringing back Nsima to Simon Epa now is Tinubu now. Listen to what Nsima has to say about Simon Epa.
And they believe in Nigeria. So what they do is that they are the agent of P2B, whom they want to use as a pedestrian.
I told you guys. I told you that so many things is going to happen. Look at it now. Simon Ekpa just delivered a message to his Biafra people. He said that the Biafra people should be strong, should be resolute this time around. That those people that are fighting against him are two agent people. You see, what I'm interested in is Simon Ekpa is revealing the truth.
that IPOP, they have been the ones sponsoring Peter Obi. That is why Simon Ekpa said that they are two-faced people. They are supporting Peter Obi one side, the other side they are supporting Biafra.
Let me leave this Momo boy here because it is not worth it. He does not know where, or he doesn't belong anywhere. He's not annoying or Boranuana. He those are the people. Asare Dokubo, Simon Ekpa, this boy, they want Biafra land to be in disarray. Now I want you to know that this boy is anti-Igbo people. This boy. The same as Simon, the same as Asare Dokubo. But this is where we are going to leave it today. Until we meet again, you must stay safe, stay informed. And bye-bye for now.